Okay, now let's take a look at how to get the mean, variance, and standard deviation for a discrete probability distribution in StatCrunch. Now this is the example I showed you in the calculator regarding extracurricular activities. Unlike the calculator, however, StatCrunch needs a column of counts rather than a column of probabilities. Recall that in the calculator for list 2 we put in probabilities for the second list. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at the probability distribution and see how many decimal places you should shift over to make those counts rather than probabilities. So looking at the problem, in other words, if I multiplied all of those probabilities by 1,000, I would convert those to counts. So I'm going to put the x values in the first column and label them activities, and in the second column put in the counts. Okay, again, I multiplied each of those corresponding probabilities by 1,000. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to click on Stat, scroll down to Summary Stats, and you want to select Grouped or Binned Data. Okay, so what we're doing is we're basically finding the mean and standard deviation for a frequency distribution. This is what we would need to do if we were in chapter 2. However, in this particular case, we're dealing with a probability distribution, not an observed frequency distribution. So we're actually finding the parameters for mu, sigma squared, and sigma. Okay, so we need to tell it where the bins are. The bins are essentially the vertical axis here if we wanted to make this a histogram. So I'm going to select activities and then tell it where the counts are. I went ahead and titled that column already as counts. And let's take a second to look at the default statistics here. Now I don't need all of this stuff. All I need is the mean, standard deviation, and variance. But recall from a previous video in the chapter 1 and 2 module, the default setting for StatCrunch is the sample variance and sample standard deviation. What I want is I want the unadjusted variance and standard deviation because I'm dealing with the population probability distribution. So I'm going to go ahead and use the control click to get those pieces I need. Oh, my mouse froze. Okay, there it goes. So I'm going to scroll up and select mean and hold down my control key and select unadjusted and unadjusted standard deviation. Again, this is going to give me the parameters that I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to press on compute and let's take a look at the corresponding output. You'll see that the mean is 3.349, which is the same as we got from the calculator. And unlike the calculator, it will give both the variance and the standard deviation. Okay, so I don't have to go ahead and take the standard deviation and square it.